Pues señores, conferencia de Capcom. Vamos a ver qué nos enseñan aquí. Y esas cosas, ¿eh? Venga, señores. Tengo esperanza de que saquen algo bonito y chulo. No es por nada, pero las tengo. Capcom. Después de este dress que llevamos, que es una puta barbaridad, una prank, espero algo.
Welcome to the Capcom E3 Showcase. I'm your host, Rachel Querico, aka Seltzer, and I'll be your guide as we walk through the latest releases, news, and updates from Capcom. We'll hear from the Resident Evil Village team, share some news from the world of Monster Hunter, and get the latest on Ace Attorney. Then we'll wrap up with some updates from our friends at Capcom Fighters. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started. Our first stop today, Resident Evil Village. The Resident Evil franchise continues to pioneer the latest and greatest in survival horror. The team has been blown away by the response to Resident Evil Village, which launched last month. It brought the world another chapter in this decades-long story as the franchise celebrates its 25th anniversary this year. I'm honored to be able to introduce Tsuyoshi Kanda, producer on Resident Evil Village, with a special message for the fans.
Another time.
Bye-bye.
There's nothing to fear.
Where's Rose?
A ver, para mí el Resident Evil 8 está muy bien, ¿eh? Me lo he gozado lo más grande. No es como han querido hacer lo que es el auténtico Resident Evil, en plan miedo y todo eso, pero claro, la gente en el 7 se quejó de que cuánto, da mucho miedo, no se cree, bla bla bla, y en este pues no han querido meter tanto miedo y han querido lo que viene siendo ¿cómo decirlo? Un poco más de tiro, un poco más de shooter, pero bueno.
As a reminder, everyone who purchases Resident Evil Village will gain free access to our online multiplayer title, Resident Evil Reverse, where players go head to head.
Vale, este es el Reverse que sale este verano, creo. Verano o julio, no sé. Que por favor, dejaros de hacer esto. O sea, no soy. Centraros en las campañas de mal y dejaros del multi, ¿eh? Eso dejárselo con los Duty o lo que sea. Ah, mira, el DLC eso me gusta. Sí, me gusta. Pero tío, sácame algo que sea.
Thank you, Kanda-san, for that wonderful update. Next up, some long-awaited news from the world of Monster Hunter. Whether it's adventuring alongside monsters or battling them with friends, we've got something for you. First, let's dive into the brand new story-based RPG entry to the series, Monster Hunter Stories 2: Wings of Ruin.
Este seguramente lo veremos mañana en la conferencia de Nintendo. El Monster Hunter.
Red may have been strong and skilled, but against the awesome power of nature, he was merely a man. He never stood a chance.
All around, things just kept getting worse. But I heard that Guardian Ratha had survived and returned to Hekolu Island. I went there to see Red's old monster again. Then, of course, that's when I met you.
You were given Red's kinship stone, and now a Rathalos egg. This is destiny.
This is the legendary monster, Ray's Wing Ratha, the monster with the wings of ruin.
Said that a beat of its wings can bring about waves of destruction.
Many people believe there's a connection between the strange happenings and the wings of ruin. The pits are appearing everywhere, and they're emitting strange light.
What's this whole idea of forming kinship with monsters? How do you control them?
It's not about control. Monsters help riders of their own will. And the bonds between monsters and riders are just like your bond with Tsukino.
Me parece más
What kind of power does Ratha really
Dragon
have?
Ball esto que
Why are all of
Monster
these
Hunter
pits
la
appearing?
Virgen.
And who are
El
those
History
people
2
who want to
este.
take Ratha for themselves?
Madre mía.
All I have are questions.
If there's worry or doubt in your voice, Ratha will become anxious too. He needs to know that you will protect
Tengo la
him
sensación de
no
que esto no va
matter
a ser muy
what.
bueno, ¿eh? Que esta
I can
conversación
sense
de
the
Capcom va a
flames of
ser
his life force
muy
weakening.
pequeña, muy corta,
The burden of
y
such
no va a
great
ser muy
power
buena, ¿eh?
is too much for his body to bear.
A voice. Can you hear it?
Riders can bond with monsters. Surely you can groove with fellow humans.
They have the power of kinship. They're friends. They're monsties. Humans carry the strength of everyone they meet. That makes them strong. My friends here taught me that. I believe in the strength of humanity.
Monster Hunter Stories 2. ¿Ves? Wing of Runes. Eso es para la gente que le encante. Pues le va a venir perfecto. Ah, vale, el primer update para Monster Hunter. El 25 de junio. Ah, pues mira. Puedes transferir todo. Pero llevamos 3 días viéndolo, ¿eh? Todo esto ya lo vimos ayer. A Monster Hunter Rise puedes meterle todo lo suyo. El 9 de julio, pero tío.
Looks pretty epic, right? And how about that announcement? The canine companion Palamute from Monster Hunter Rise will be joining Monster Hunter Stories 2 as one of the new monsties in the first free title update coming soon after the game's release. You can get an early peek at the game with the Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin trial version starting on June 25th, which also carries your progress over to the full game release just a few weeks later on July 9th. That's not the only way to join the hunt. Millions of you made Monster Hunter Rise a huge success earlier this year, and we have even more content coming, including a new collaboration on the Rise. Let's find out more.
Let's go! This is for my fellow hunters!
Capcom. Que sí, que puedes pasar todas tus cosas y que más vale. Pero tío, esto es más de Nintendo.
I have a good feeling. What will it be? Moon's blessing emerged.
El 18 de junio al público la leyenda de Tatsuki. Oh, pues mira. Y ahora, ¿el qué es? El evento. Oh, el evento es descargable, tío, esto no lo sabía.
is like my second home.
You think you can take on Rondine?
No sé, son... Junio y julio. Bueno. Pero esto ya lo vimos. Es que esto ya llevamos 2 días viéndolo.
There has never been a better time to be a Monster Hunter fan. With all the new updates to Monster Hunter Rise and the launch of Monster Hunter Stories 2 this summer. We can't wait to hear about your own stories of adventure. Well, that's not the only thing Capcom has in store for us this July. Fans of Phoenix Wright will have new chapters to explore with the release of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. North American and European future attorneys will finally be able to get their hands on the Great Ace Attorney Adventures and the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, which were previously only available in Japan. You'll travel back in time to the late 19th century Japan and London to play as Ryunosuke Naruhodo, Phoenix Wright's ancestor, in this action-packed prequel. Now, let's hear more about the story.
So then, let us unravel this mystery.
Welcome
to the center of the world,
Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
This country is incredible. I will become a lawyer. I have to.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Who are you? Herlock shows. You must have heard of me.
We must solve this case, Naruhodo-san.
Pero no van a conseguir más gente. Porque esto juega básicamente quien se lo jugó todo. Y vienen de Japón. Es muy complicado tener gente con estos juegos. Pero bueno, si a ellos les gusta.
It would seem the truth is now tantalizingly close.
The defense demands its right to a cross-examination.
Uno con la katana, otro con cuchillo, joder. Madre mía, cómo funciona esto, ¿no? Oh, vaya. Oye, ¿había algún anime o algo de esto? Tiene toda la pinta, ¿eh? Es que el anime puede jugar, puede estar muy guapo. Con su investigación y demás puede estar muy guapo, ¿eh? Capcom Pro. ¿Ya se va a cerrar con esto? ¿Pero qué mierda ha sido esto? ¿Pero ya me vaya a cerrar con esto? Nada de Street Fighter nuevo ni nada, ¿eh? Eso me ha llegado a la patata. Yo creo que esta tirada es una broma, ¿eh? Porque joder. Menos mal que mañana está Nintendo, porque si no, joder. Sí, tenemos un montón de problemas con el audio y no tengo ni idea por qué, ¿eh?
So behind me you can see
Ya está, coño,
in
ala.
all of its glory the Capcom Pro Tour 2021 official stage and set, and that's a place that you are
Pero
very,
yo
very
sigo diciendo que esta 3 es una broma,
And we check out all of the top competitors from each and every one of these regions. And speaking of, the Capcom Pro Tour has shaped up a lot. 2021, we have 32 events going on in the Capcom Pro Tour, spanning across 19 different territories. So there's so many opportunities for players from around the world to get that ticket into Capcom Cup this season. I'm absolutely excited because, again, that is a big change from what 2020 was into what we could expect for 2021.
And Mago is your first qualifier for Japan for the Capcom Pro Tour.
Not only can you catch the Capcom Pro Tour live on the Capcom Fighters channel, you can do so on a plethora of platforms. We have it on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Of course, if you don't catch it live, you can also check out the VODs for all the competitive studying you would need to become a successful Street Fighter V player, as well as catching some of the community-focused content that we have on Capcom Fighters. We have No Neutral, the official pre-show of the Capcom Pro Tour. We have sets where we take players from around the world and play off in
No sé, yo me esperaba algo.
We do have Street Fighter League that's happened season after season, non-stop action, 6 teams of 3 duke it out in this battle tournament series to see who will walk away with the championship and the $150,000 prize pool.
No sé, una sorpresa o algo, no sé. Pero tío, es que no había nada, ¿eh?
But now you actually have your teammates at your back, and every decision that you make is not just about you anymore.
Look for more news on Street Fighter League later this year.
It's Oki time. What's gonna happen?
Nice.
He checks it. He checks the movement. What's happening?
It's so good. Let's not forget, the Intel World Opening is happening right now.
Champion, tío, pero tío, enséñame el nuevo Street Fighter.
Are competing for their place in the World Finals happening next month. Be sure to check out the official website for more information, including current standings and broadcast schedule.
To commemorate this event, everyone who logged in during this period will receive an exclusive competitor title and dojo object. You do not want to miss this.
I highly recommend everyone to stay tuned for future Capcom Pro Tour updates on the Capcom Fighters channel.
And again, we've had so many events so far. We started off with the Japan region. We've had a couple of more events going on afterwards, but the action does not stop. In fact, we're going to be
No sé, es que yo quiero ver algo nuevo de Street Fighter.
For the Capcom Pro Tour.
Bueno, quería, ya no va a salir nada.
I mean, of course, your boy is from Ohio. Make sure you guys tune in to see the tournament. You do not.
Esta trae un poco prank, una poca broma, ¿eh?
Players in the world compete head to head.
So it's you.
I dare you to find better Street Fighter. I dare you.
This is a game about being a world warrior. Capcom College Tournament play.
Obviously, they got a rivalry.
I'm the best in the world.
This game has changed the lives of so many people here.
No sé, a ver, a Benny le gusta mucho Street Fighter, ver y demás. Yo cuando lo veo no me entero. O sea, no sé lo que hacen las cosas, no sé, no me entero. Pero Peña dice que está muy guapo y demás. Pero yo no me entero.
Thanks, guys. It's been a really exciting season so far, and I can't wait to see how this plays out on the road to Capcom Cup. Remember to check out Capcom Fighters' Twitch and YouTube channels for more information and to watch the latest matches. So that's a wrap for Capcom at E3 this year. Let's recap what we all saw. Resident Evil Village is
Por
back
favor,
with the
decid,
latest
one more thing
installment of
y
the
si hay
survival
algo
horror
secreto.
experience and RE-Verse as part of the franchise's 25th anniversary. We have new adventures to embark on in the world of Monster Hunter with Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin, and Monster Hunter Rise. And don't forget to go back in time with the great Ace Attorney Chronicles to tap into the family history of Phoenix Wright and solve new cases. Finally, don't miss out on
ya
the
está.
esports
Ya
fun.
solo
Make
vamos
sure
a
you
dar
catch
esa leche y
the
ya está.
latest matches with Capcom Fighters. There really is something for everyone here today. But don't go anywhere yet. Join the conversation on Twitter and make sure you check out the Capcom virtual booth on the E3 portal to watch all these videos again and more. I'm Rachel Querico, aka Seltzer. Thank you for being part of the Capcom experience at E3 this year.
Joder, ya está. Tío, ni un one more thing de alguna tontería o algo. Ni eso. Oh, tío. Yo quería ver algo. Esta E3 ha sido esperando guantazo, ¿eh? Literalmente. Esta ha sido esperando guantazo y no sacar una mierda en Microsoft. Porque joder, macho. No lo entiendo, de verdad. En fin, pues ya está, hasta aquí la de esta E3 de Capcom. A ver si Nintendo mañana se la saca, ¿eh? Que yo espero que sí.